Have you ever been absolutely certain someone was sitting right behind you, only to turn around and find emptiness? What would you do if you spent 20 minutes with a passenger in your car, only to be told they were never there? And what if every piece of evidence insisted you drove alone but your memory screamed otherwise? My name is Kevin Martinez and I drive for Uber in Austin, Texas. I've been doing it for almost 4 years now, ever since I moved here from Houston after my divorce. It's not glamorous work, but it pays my bills and gives me flexibility. I know this city inside and out. 6th Street, South Congress, the Domain, every shortcut and back road. I've given thousands of rides to thousands of people. Drunk college students, professionals heading to the airport, tourists exploring the city. You see all types when you drive nights in Austin. October 23rd started like any other Friday. I began my shift at 7 p.m., planning to drive until around 3 a.m. when the bars closed and the surge pricing kicked in. The weather was mild, typical autumn evening in Texas. I'd already completed 8 rides by 11 p.m., making decent money from the weekend crowd. At 11:47 p.m., I got a ping for a pickup on East 7th Street, just outside the downtown core. The passenger rating was 4.9, name listed as James M. The destination was an address in the suburbs, about a 20-minute drive. Good fare, easy route. I accepted. I pulled up to the pickup location, a quiet residential street with older houses and mature trees. Not the usual pickup spot for a Friday night. No bars nearby, no restaurants, just dark houses with porch lights on. The pin dropped me in front of a craftsman-style home with peeling paint and an overgrown yard. I turned on my hazard lights and checked the app. The passenger was shown as arriving at the pickup location. I waited, watching the timer count down from 5 minutes. Through my rearview mirror, I saw the front door of the house open. A figure stepped out onto the porch. Even from a distance in the dim streetlight, something about the way the person moved seemed off. Slow, deliberate, head down like they were watching their feet with every step. They wore a dark hoodie pulled up over their head and jeans. Average height, average build. Nothing particularly distinctive. The figure approached my car and opened the rear passenger door behind me. They slid into the back seat without a word. I heard the door close softly. "James?" I asked, glancing in the rearview mirror. The passenger didn't respond. They sat directly behind me, head down, hood covering most of their face. All I could see in the mirror was the top of the hood and their hands resting in their lap. Heading to Westlake Hills? I confirmed the destination shown on the app. No response, not even a nod. This wasn't entirely unusual. Some passengers don't want to talk, especially late at night. They're tired, drunk, or just prefer silence. I've learned not to force conversation. Still, most people at least acknowledge you with a grunt or head movement. I started driving, turning onto I-35 South. The app showed the route clearly, a straight shot down the highway, then west into the hills. 22 minutes estimated. As I merged onto the highway, I tried again. "Let me know if you need me to adjust the temperature or anything." Silence. The passenger remained perfectly still, head down, hands in lap. I could see them in my peripheral vision and in the rearview mirror. Definitely there. Definitely a person. Just completely unresponsive. After a few minutes, I stopped trying to engage. If they wanted silence, they'd get silence. I turned on the radio, keeping it low. Classic rock station playing Hotel California. The highway stretched ahead, other vehicles sparse at this hour. But something was bothering me. The passenger was too still. Not just quiet, but motionless. No shifting position, no looking at their phone, no normal fidgeting that people do. Just sitting there with their head down like they were in a trance. I adjusted my rearview mirror slightly to get a better view. The passenger didn't react to the movement. I could see their hands clearly now, pale and thin, fingers interlaced. They weren't holding a phone, weren't holding anything, just sitting there, "You feeling okay back there?" I asked, starting to feel genuinely concerned. "You need me to pull over?" Nothing. I was getting uncomfortable now. In 4 years of driving, I dealt with all sorts of situations. Drunk passengers, aggressive passengers, people getting sick in my car. But this silent, motionless person was triggering something primal in my brain. The way they sat there felt wrong in a way I couldn't articulate. I considered ending the ride, telling them I had an emergency and needed to drop them off. But we were on the highway now, no good place to stop. And technically, they weren't doing anything wrong, just sitting quietly. Maybe they were on medication. Maybe they had some condition that made social interaction difficult. I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt. We drove in silence for 10 minutes. I kept stealing glances in the mirror. The passenger never moved, never looked up. Just sat there with that hood obscuring their face, hands in lap, perfectly still. Hotel California ended and Dream On by Aerosmith began. I focused on the road, trying to ignore my growing unease. We'd be at the destination soon. I'd complete the ride, they'd get out, and I'd never see them again. At the 15-minute mark, something changed. The passenger spoke. "You don't remember me." The voice was flat, neither masculine nor feminine. No accent, no emotion. Just a statement of fact delivered in a monotone. I glanced in the mirror. The passenger hadn't moved, head still down. "I'm sorry, what?" "You don't remember me. You never do." "I'm not sure what you mean." "Have you ridden with me before?" "Many times." I checked the app. The passenger profile showed this was James M's first ride with me. "The app says this is your first time requesting me as a driver. The app doesn't know everything." A chill ran down my spine. Something about that response, the flat delivery, felt deeply wrong. "Look, I don't know what you're talking about. If you've ridden with me before, I apologize for not remembering. I give a lot of rides." "You always apologize. You always say the same things. The pattern never changes." "What pattern? What are you talking about?" The passenger finally moved, just slightly, a tilt of the head but still not enough to show their face. "Every Friday, same time, same route. You pick me up and you never remember, because the ride never happened. But it's happening right now." My hands tightened on the steering wheel. "I think maybe you're confused, or maybe you're thinking of a different driver." "I'm not confused. You are. You always are. By the time we reach the destination, you'll have forgotten I was ever here." I was seriously considering pulling over now, emergency or not. This person was either mentally ill or messing with me, and either way I didn't want them in my car anymore. But we were still on the highway, traffic moving at 70 mph around us. "I'm going to need you to explain what you mean," I said firmly, "or I'm going to have to end this ride." "You can't end what never began. Look at your app, Kevin." The use of my name sent another chill through me. Passengers could see driver names, that was normal. But the way they said it felt invasive, intimate in a way that crossed boundaries. I glanced down at my phone mounted on the dashboard. The app was open, showing the active ride. But something was wrong with the display. The passenger information section was glitching, the text flickering between James M and blank space. The destination kept shifting between the Westlake Hills address and unknown location. "What the hell?" I muttered, tapping the screen. The glitching continued. It's trying to correct itself, to show what's real, that I'm not here, that I never got in your car. But I am here, you can see me, you can hear me. So which is real, Kevin? The app or your senses? I needed to get off the highway. There was an exit coming up in half a mile. I'd pull off, stop somewhere public and well lit, and figure this out. Maybe the app was malfunctioning. Maybe this person was having a mental health crisis. Either way, I needed to handle this safely. "I'm going to take the next exit," I announced. "We need to sort this out." "You always say that too, and you always take the exit, and nothing changes." I moved into the right lane, signaling for the exit. My heart was pounding now. The passenger remained motionless behind me, head down, hands in lap. As we curved down the exit ramp, I looked for somewhere to stop, There was a gas station ahead, brightly lit with several cars at the pumps. I pulled into the gas station parking lot and put the car in park. Okay, I need you to explain what's going on. Why are you saying these things? What do you mean the ride never happened? Look at your app now. I looked down at my phone. The screen showed my driver interface, but there was no active ride. The map showed my location at the gas station, but no route, no destination, no passenger information, just the idle screen waiting for the next ride request. That's impossible, I said. I accepted a ride. I picked you up. We've been driving for 15 minutes. Have we? I spun around in my seat to look directly at the passenger. They were still there, sitting in the back seat, hood up, head down. Definitely a physical person occupying space in my car. You're right there. I can see you. You're in my car. Am I? Yes, you're sitting right there. My voice was rising now, panic creeping in. Then why does the app say you're available for rides? Why does it show you've been sitting in this parking lot for 3 minutes with no passenger? I looked at the app again. It was showing exactly what they said. According to the timestamp, I'd been parked here since 12:07 a.m., but that was impossible. I'd been driving on the highway with a passenger. I checked my recent rides. The last one showed as completed at 11:39 p.m., a drop-off downtown. Nothing after that. This doesn't make sense. Something's wrong with the app. Some kind of glitch. It's not a glitch. The app is showing the truth. You're sitting alone in your car at a gas station. You have been for the last 3 minutes. There's no passenger. There never was. But you're here. I can see you. I can hear you. Can you? I reached back to touch them, to prove they were physical and real. My hand passed through empty air. I was reaching toward the back seat where I could clearly see a person sitting, but my hand encountered nothing. No fabric, no body, just emptiness. I yanked my hand back, staring at it in disbelief. What the fuck is happening? You're remembering something that didn't happen. A ride you never gave. A passenger who never got in your car. But the memory is real to you. It feels real. The past 15 minutes feel real. This is insane. I'm going crazy. I need to... I pulled out my personal phone and started to call someone. My ex-wife. My brother. Anyone who could confirm I was actually experiencing reality. They won't believe you. They'll say you're tired, stressed, hallucinating. And maybe you are. Or maybe this is the only real conversation you've had all night. Maybe all those other rides were the illusion, and this is what's actually happening. I looked at my personal phone. It showed the time as 11:51 p.m., but my car's dashboard clock showed 12:12 a.m. My watch showed 12:12 a.m. The phone was wrong, or everything else was wrong. I picked you up at 11:47, I said, trying to ground myself in facts. On East 7th Street, you came out of a house. Did I? Are you sure? Look at your GPS history. I opened the GPS history on my phone. It showed me driving from downtown, where I dropped off my last fare, directly to this gas station. No stop on East 7th. No pickup. Just a straight drive here where I'd apparently been sitting for 5 minutes. I don't understand. I remember picking you up. I remember driving on the highway. This is my memory, my experience. Memory is unreliable. Experience is subjective. What if I told you this happens every Friday? You get a ping for a pickup on East 7th. You drive there. You think you pick up a passenger. You drive for about 15 minutes. Then you pull off at this exact gas station. And you discover the ride never happened, but you always forget by next Friday, so it happens again. That's not possible. I would remember something like that. Would you? What did you have for breakfast last Tuesday? I couldn't remember. That's different. That's just normal forgetting. Is it? What if you forget every strange thing that happens to you? What if your mind is constantly editing your memories to make reality seem normal and safe? What if right now, sitting in this gas station, is the first time you've allowed yourself to see what's really happening? I was shaking now, my hands trembling on the steering wheel. I want you out of my car. Get out, Now. I'm not in your car, Kevin. Look at the back seat. Really look. I turned around fully, staring at the back seat. The passenger was there, clear as day, hood up, head down. But when I tried to focus directly on them, they seemed to flicker. Like an image that was almost there, but not quite solid. And the more I stared, the less certain I became that I was actually seeing anything at all. You're experiencing two realities simultaneously, the passenger said. One where I'm here, one where I'm not. Both are true, both are false. The human mind isn't designed to handle that contradiction, so it picks one and commits. But you're caught between them right now. You can see both. I don't want to see both. I want to see what's real. What makes something real? Consistency? Multiple people experiencing the same thing? Physical evidence? You have none of that right now. You have only your perception, and your perception is broken. I grabbed my phone and opened the dashcam app. I'd installed a dashcam months ago after a passenger falsely claimed I'd been in an accident. It recorded everything, front and back. I rewound to 11:47 p.m. The footage showed my car pulling up to the address on East 7th Street, showed me waiting, showed the timer counting down, and then showed me pulling away alone. No one got in the car. No door opened. Just me, driving away from an empty house with nobody in the back seat. But I remembered them getting in. I remembered the door opening and closing. I heard it. The camera doesn't lie, the passenger said. But memory does. Perception does. You filled in what you expected to see. A passenger requesting a ride means a passenger gets in the car. Your mind created that experience to match your expectations. Then why do I see you now? Why am I hearing you? Because I'm showing you what happens when expectations break down, when the pattern reveals itself. Every Friday at 11:47, you get a ping for a ride that doesn't exist. You spend 15 minutes driving a passenger who isn't there. Then you arrive here and reality corrects itself. But the memory of the fake ride remains, just below conscious awareness, building up week after week, creating a sense that something is wrong, even if you can't identify what. Why? Why would this happen? Maybe it's not about why. Maybe it's just what is. A glitch in your perception, a recurring delusion, or maybe something else is happening. Maybe you died 15 minutes ago in a car accident on the highway, and this loop is your consciousness trying to process it. The ride that never ends. The passenger that's really death itself, sitting behind you, waiting. My breath was coming in short gasps now. I'm not dead. I'm sitting here. I'm alive. Are you sure? You were driving on the highway. High speed. What if you swerved, hit another car? What if your last thought was accepting a ride request and now you're trapped in that moment, living it over and over? I looked at my hands. They looked solid, real. I could feel the steering wheel, feel the seat beneath me. I can feel everything. This is real. Brain in a jar can feel things too. Phantom limb patients feel limbs that aren't there. Feeling isn't proof of reality. It's just proof of perception. I needed to get out of the car. I needed to be around other people, confirm that I existed, that this was real life. I opened my door and stepped out into the gas station parking lot. The cool night air hit my face. Other cars were refueling. People were walking in and out of the convenience store. Normal, mundane, real. I walked toward the store, needing to interact with someone, anyone. A woman was walking out carrying a bag of chips and a soda. I stepped in front of her. "Excuse me, can you see me? Can you hear me?" She looked startled, stepping around me without responding. Maybe she thought I was homeless or crazy. I tried again with a man pumping gas. "Sir, I need help. Something's wrong. I need you to confirm that I'm here, that I'm real." He pulled out his phone, probably to call the police, and turned away. I looked down at myself. I was wearing my usual driving clothes, jeans, and a jacket. I looked normal. But people were avoiding me like I was invisible or threatening. I went back to my car. The passenger was still there in the back seat, unchanged. Still head down, still motionless. "They can see you," the passenger said. But you're frightening them. Because something about you is wrong now. You're caught between states. Alive and dead. Here and not here. They sense it even if they don't understand it. I'm not dead. I refuse to believe that. Then what do you believe? That I'm a hallucination? That you're having a breakdown? That would be easier, wouldn't it? A simple psychological explanation. Stress, exhaustion, a break from reality. Take some time off, see a therapist, get medication. Problem solved. Maybe that is what's happening. Then why am I telling you things you don't want to hear? Hallucinations usually confirm existing beliefs. They make you feel special, important. They don't tell you that you're trapped in a death loop or that your perception of reality is fundamentally broken. I got back in the car, closing the door. My hands were still shaking. What do I do? How do I fix this? You can't fix what's always been broken. This isn't new, Kevin. This has been happening for weeks. You just never let yourself see it until now. Every Friday night, same time, same place, same fake ride. Building up in your subconscious. Creating anxiety you couldn't explain. Making you feel like something was stalking you even though you couldn't identify what. I want it to stop. It will. Eventually. Either you'll accept it and stop noticing, let your mind edit it out like it has been. Or you'll break completely and won't be able to drive anymore. Or the passenger trailed off. Or what? Or you'll look up. You'll see my face. And then you'll understand everything. I don't want to see your face. I know. That's why you never have. That's why I keep my head down. Because if you really saw, you wouldn't be able to maintain the illusion that you're still alive. That you're still driving around Austin picking up real passengers. You'd have to accept what you are. What am I? Look up, Kevin. See for yourself. Every instinct screamed at me not to. To start the car, drive away, forget this ever happened. Let my mind edit it out like it apparently had been doing. Go back to the comfortable illusion of normal life. But I couldn't. I had to know. I had to see. I turned around in my seat looking directly at the passenger. Look up, show me your face. The passenger slowly raised their head. The hood fell back. I saw my own face staring back at me. But wrong. Distorted. Pale and waxy like a corpse. Eyes open but not seeing. Mouth slightly open. The face of someone who died instantly. No time to change expression. This is what I am, I whispered. This is what we are. The same person. You behind the wheel, living. Me in the backseat, dead. The moment of impact frozen in time. Your consciousness split between the second before the crash and the second after. Before and after occupying the same space. I looked away, unable to keep staring at that dead version of myself. The crash hasn't happened yet. Hasn't it? You're on the highway, 15 minutes into a ride. A car swerves into your lane. You don't have time to react. The crash happens so fast you don't even process it. 1 second you're driving, the next second you're dead. But your consciousness doesn't stop instantly. It keeps going for a few moments, trying to make sense of what happened. And in those moments, you create this loop, the ride that never ends. The passenger who is really you, showing you what you've become. I don't accept that. I'm going to drive away from here right now. I'm going to pick up more passengers, real passengers. I'm going to prove this is wrong. You will, and they'll be real. And you'll forget this conversation until next Friday at 11:47 when the loop starts again. When you get a ping for a pickup on East 7th. When a passenger who is really your own death gets in your car and shows you the truth you can't accept. I started the engine. My phone showed available for rides again. No active trip. No record of the past 20 minutes. Just like the passenger said. I'm leaving now. You're getting out. I'm already out. I was never in. Look at the back seat. I looked in the rearview mirror. The back seat was empty. Had been empty the whole time. Just my reflection staring back at me, looking terrified and confused. I drove out of the gas station and back onto the highway. Within minutes, I got a ping for a new ride. A real ride with a real passenger. A college student heading home from a party. She got in, chatted about her night, thanked me when I dropped her off. Normal. Real. I completed 3 more rides that night. All normal, all real, all documented properly in the app with passenger names, reviews, payment. Reality had reasserted itself. The strange episode at the gas station faded into memory, already feeling dreamlike and unreal. By 3 a.m. I was exhausted. I ended my shift and drove home to my apartment, fell into bed, slept dreamlessly. The next day the whole thing seemed absurd. A weird moment of derealization, probably from fatigue and stress. Nothing more. I told myself I'd been working too hard, needed more sleep, needed to take better care of myself. I took the week off from driving, spent time with friends, caught up on sleep, tried to relax. By the following Friday, I felt completely normal. The strange episode was just a story, something that happened to me once. Inexplicable, but not threatening. On Friday, October 30th, I logged into the Uber app at 7 p.m. and started my shift. The evening went smoothly. Good fares, decent tips, friendly passengers. Austin was busy with Halloween weekend crowds. At 11:47 p.m., I got a ping for a pickup on East 7th Street. Passenger name, James M. Destination, Westlake Hills. I accepted without thinking and drove to the address. A craftsman-style house with peeling paint and an overgrown yard. I turned on my hazards and waited. The front door opened. A figure in a dark hoodie stepped out onto the porch, head down, walking slowly toward my car. They opened the rear passenger door and slid into the back seat. I heard the door close softly. "James?" I asked, glancing in the rearview mirror. The passenger didn't respond. They sat directly behind me, head down, hood covering their face, hands folded in their lap. "Heading to Westlake Hills?" I confirmed. Silence. I started driving, turning onto I-35 South. The app showed the route clearly, 22 minutes estimated. Everything felt familiar. Deja vu washed over me, strong and disorienting. Had I given this exact ride before? No, that was impossible. This was just a routine pickup. I gave hundreds of rides. They all started to blend together after a while. I turned on the radio. Hotel California was playing. The passenger sat perfectly still behind me, head down, not moving. I tried to make conversation. "Let me know if you need me to adjust the temperature or anything." No response. Something about this felt wrong, but I couldn't identify what. Just an odd sense that I'd been here before, done this before. We drove for 10 minutes in silence. The passenger never moved, never looked up. Then they spoke. "You don't remember me?" If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more chilling tales. Drop a comment below. Have you ever experienced deja vu so strong you questioned reality? Have you ever been certain something happened, only to find no evidence it did? Share your experiences, and remember, the next time you're driving alone late at night and feel like someone is watching you from the back seat, maybe don't look in the mirror. Some passengers are better left unseen. Sleep well.